Y'all give it up for Smiles, man. Yeah. Mastery in house, thank y'all for coming out. Who's ready for some house music? Who's ready for some D&B? Yeah. Give it up for Smiles one more time.
Love y'all.
Y'all bring Geexella in with some love. Let's do it.
Shaking ass on my thigh shape. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape. Hands on my knees, hands on my knees. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape. Hands on my knees, hands on my knees. Shaking ass on my thigh shit. Post me a pic, finna make me a profit. When the liquor hit, then the bitch get toxic.
Why the fuck you in the club and this wild?
I've been lit since brunch, that shit. Order 42 for the table, let's pop shit. Missionaire or doggy style on my top shit. Pussy ass niggas hating on me from the closet. Hoes tryna call me a snake, shit. I guess I can relate, cause a bitch spit a whole lot of venom. And since these hoes all rats, when they come around me, all I see is a whole lot of venom. I walk around the house butt naked and I stop at air mirror just to stare at my own posterior. I don't give a fuck who talk behind my back, cause the bitch knew better than to let me hear. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape. Hands on my knees, hands on my knees. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape. Hands on my knees, hands on my knees. Llama Dolce, cool it enough, then but she get hotter than the sun. I take a trip out of Japan and I tsunami her vagina, wanna Donna, Benny Hanna. I'm the new hip hop Madonna, I'm the new hip hop Madonna. I'm the trap great stones. I don't know what type of motherfucking crack they own. I'm like Carrie Bradshaw with a back brace on. I've been carrying you bitches now for way too long. I'm a black bitch, purple cunt, stack chips, smoker blunt. All beef gets smoked. I'm a real fly bitch, you ain't coach ho. I'm a real vibe bitch, every post ho. She was talking on and that she wanna approach though. I got these bitches white face, you a ghost ho. You a don't you stand on a post ho. Suck it up, stand up, say that shit with your chest. You bitches rocking over bones, I got digits to fetch. I can't do bitches, I'm too busy, I don't deal with the press. You the type of hoe to leave a broke nigga impressed. You look a mess ho, broke dick got you looking real stressed ho. These broke niggas ain't cut or fetch ho. Stay up, stay woke, stay blessed ho. You need a wake up, income, get your tits up, get my makeup, face fuck, get your bake up. Fake love, fake tough, niggas dicks up, put your sticks up for the motherfucking princess. Wakes up, chicks tits up in my makeup. Face fuck, get your bake up. Big blood, fake tough, niggas dick
Hey, 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 hey. Sound a bounce and the place a full up. Hey, sexy girl, now me can't get enough. Hey, girl a pull on by that pillow. Hey, I murder when me step inna the club. Hey, select at the top inna the soul. Hey, music a bounce and lyrics by the tons and the high grade sent from above. We tell them.
I was trying to do like a smooth transition via via SoundCloud, but if you have a moment, drop in the chat. Hi, drop in the chat your name, your pronouns. Where are you zooming in from? What are you snacking on? Come on, drinking a Red Bull. That's me. That's me always. And what brings you here today? I literally just scarfed down my 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 tropical smoothie because baby, I was hungry, moving and grooving. We got LA in the house, we got Pennsylvania, Cali. Oh, Ashley, you from everywhere. Ooh, a Chipotle chicken. That sounds good. Sierra. Oh, you in Atlanta? I'm in Atlanta too. Period. LA ice matcha. I need y'all to get some food and not just drinking your calories, okay? We'll get started in like 2 more minutes, just waiting for some more friends to pop in. Listen, she be getting me together, okay? Getting me together. It's I got the, this is not a hashtag, this is not an ad, but this is the it's the Detox Island. I like it because it has like spinach and like pineapple and like all of the good things in there. And then I do half the sugar because I gotta watch my sugar. My sugar is a little out of control. But welcome, welcome. Oh, tuning in from the UK. What's up? Okay, therapist and DJ, we need them both. We need them both. Shout out to Backline, an amazing, amazing partner of FemHouse that does therapy for folks in the industry. So you should definitely check them out. Yeah, gotta keep them A, period. Ashton, you already know what's up. You already know what's up. But yeah, this tropical smoothie is getting me together. I have a set tonight, so gotta get it together. But I'm so happy to be here with y'all. It's been a minute. Come on, dude. And the peach Red Bull. Duval's where I'm originally from Jacksonville. So excited to see y'all in the chat. Combining all the mediums. I know that's right. That's where I'm at too. That's where I'm at. Cool. Would love to know their details. I'm excited for tonight. Yeah, too. All right, y'all. Well, the friends are here. I hope y'all are comfortable. I hope y'all are, you know, coming into this space, just like ready to like hear me talk. It's so funny, like this is a webinar because like I'm so used to like it being like a meeting, not like a webinar. I think my next session I'm gonna ask them to make it like a meeting because it's so weird just like talking to y'all for like an hour straight. But it's gonna be fun. I'm excited to get into the things. So before I jump into the things, one of my favorite things to do during any type of facilitation I do is let's take a moment to pause, y'all. The world is worlding, life is lifing. Y'all might hear my dogs bark, so I might shut the door so we can actually have some silence. Hold on. Sorry, my puppers be doing the most. But yeah, let's have a moment to just like pause. Let's take a breath. One thing about me, I'm not going to do nothing without intention. You are not late. Oh, you're lame. Yes, you are lame. So let's just take a moment to breathe together. Just do like one big collective breath on 3. 1, 2, 3. Let all that out. Let all that out. Whatever it is, like just let it out. Let it out, y'all. Like I said, the world is worldly right now. Everybody is just so dysregulated. So let's just take this moment to be in pause together. And we're gonna take one more breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Thank y'all for taking that moment with me. I also needed to as a facilitator because yeah, it can be a lot to just talk for this amount of time, also show up as like not someone who is an expert, but someone who just like really loves to DJ and really loves being in community with people. Just to go over like our quick agenda. Oops, went the wrong way. We'll do some introductions on my behalf, and y'all are already dropping in the chat. Morgan, no worries. Just your name, your pronouns, where you're coming from, what are you snacking on, and what brings you here today if you feel like you want to do that. But yeah, do some introductions on y'all's half, and then I'll do my introductions. This is a really, really basic 101 type of workshop. Gonna go over what a controller is, like just kind of the high level overview. Some of the things that I do for mixing and also playlist tips. And then what does it look like to find yourself like in this music industry while you're DJing, and a moment for Q&A. Feel free to do Q&A throughout the whole thing if you have like any questions. Like I was saying earlier, before I lost my train of thought, was this is a co-learning space. Like I do not consider myself an expert when it comes to DJing. I'm always learning. I'm always fucking up. Like it's like a journey. Okay. And I know we have folks that are also experts that are in the space. I know y'all are coming with knowledge too. So feel free like to drop in the chat if there's things you want me to expand on or things you feel like you want to expand on. Please do that. This is, yes, it is a journey. So please throw that in the chat. There also is a Q&A box. So if maybe you feel a little sticky and maybe you don't want to have like your name on blast, there is a way to ask a question without having your name there. But again, no judgment here. This is a learning space. But please just respect each other while you're in the chat. I don't want to have to kick nobody out the club, but I will kick you out if you're going to be acting wild in my chat. Okay. So just keep that in mind. Ash has their hand raised. Not sure why your hand is raised, but feel free to drop in the chat if you have a question or anything. Okay, cool. You lowered your hand. So yeah, throw it in the chat or throw it in the Q&A box. And yeah, if I got to kick you out the club, I got to kick you out the club. So just don't be acting wild in my chat or in my Q&A box. So that's that. We're level setting. Good? We're good? Cool. So who am I? Someone else got their hand. Okay, they lowered their hand. So who am I? My name is Geexella. I am a former FemHouse employee. Used to work as like the community manager. So the way that I kind of met FemHouse was I wrote an article about FemHouse through Ableton, and it was just like a dope friendship made in heaven post that. But going back even more in time, the way that I learned how to DJ, I kind of finessed my first ever how you say like DJ residency at a queer club in the city that I used to work in. And I used to support the drag shows. And so a lot of what I know about just like learning things on the fly, about like club culture was from drag queens. So I like to say that I learned how to DJ from drag queens. They taught me so much about emceeing, about working a crowd, about just like what like works in the club, what doesn't work in the club, like what gets people hyped. And so yeah, shout out to the drag queens. They are definitely the origin story of like how I started to DJ and like why I continue to do the work that I do. Personally, I am located on Muskogee Creek Nation, or so-called Atlanta, Georgia. ATL ho, ATL ho. That's what we do here. So I am from Atlanta, or I currently live in Atlanta. My pronouns are they, them, and theirs. And I have been DJing for about 7, 8 years. I was trying to remember, like count all the years, but definitely about 7 to 8 years. Before DJing, I was an MC and singer. And so a lot of like my orientation to the music industry was a lot through just like being like an MC. I had to update some of this because like a lot of the style that I play is like always evolving, and I'm in a space now where I'm just like I'm gonna play what I want to play. And I like to say that I am a child of a club kid. My dad is from Chicago. He grew up going to all the Frankie Knuckles parties, and just like being immersed in like house culture in Chicago. And so I was like so like turned off by like house music just because I used to listen to so much of it in my house, y'all, growing up, and I was just like, oh, but now I have taken the return back, okay? And now I understand. I understand. House is life, okay? House is about love. House is all the things. And so house definitely rules everything around me in this moment. And I have taken a love to disco. Disco music has also been something that I've been playing a lot more of. And it's been really fun to kind of explore that genre, like older disco and like newer disco. So it's been super fun to explore that. I'm also half Mexican, and so I also play a lot of baile funk, a lot of perreo, reggaeton, bomba, like all of the things. And so, yeah, a lot of my style kind of like wraps all of these together when I'm DJing. And a lot of what I learned too from DJing is I started throwing my own parties called Duval Folks for shout out again to my Jacksonville people. This was the first party, my first baby, and it just taught me everything about curation, about just community, about taking care of your people, of ethics around money, around paying folks. So it, you know, I learned a lot from that and continue, like I said, to learn. And outside of DJing and doing music, I also am a writer and a cultural organizer. You can see my little, I don't know if you can see my, in the top right corner, from an action that happened in Jacksonville, Florida. Yeah, definitely. Duval Folks, like I said, was my first party, and it was just like a party that I started because in Jacksonville in 2018 at the time, it was like the epicenter for a lot of like trans violence. Lots of black and brown, or lots of black trans women were being murdered in Jacksonville. And so Duval Folks was kind of like my answer to having a queer space in Jacksonville, because at the time it was just like an LGBTQI plus like kind of space, and we know there's a difference between LGBTQI plus and queer. And so this space like really was my answer to that in Jacksonville. But I am gonna be doing like how to hold a what's it called? What is this section actually called? It's called DJing to create a safer dance floor. So in that session at June 20th, I'll go more into that, but that's pretty much like the light version of like what Duval Folks is about. I kind of use Duval Folks as my case study when I do that session. So I'll share more about that later. But yeah, that's me. And let's get into it, y'all. So I'm gonna go over this quick word bank And these will be kind of terms that I'll be using throughout the session. You'll hear me say controller a lot, like interchanged with like CDJs, or like the controller that I have. I have a couple controllers, but some folks will, call them CDJs, controller, things like that. And these are just devices that are used to help DJs mix music with software. We're using knobs, we're using encoders, we're using jog wheels, faders, backlit buttons, touch scripts, like all kinds of things. And there's all kinds of different controllers. Personally, I've only played on Pioneers. There's also like Denim and like Newmark. There's like all kinds of different controllers out there. We're going to be talking about tempo. Tempo is the speed or the pace of like a given song or, joint, whatever, however you refer to it. Then I'm going to talk a lot about BPMs, which BPMs stand for beats per measure. And that's kind of getting a little bit more into like music theory stuff, which we won't get too deep into that. I'll lightly touch on it. Honestly, I'm brushing up on my own music theory, so you don't have to really know too much about that. And then I'm going to talk about DAWs. DAWs are the electronic device or software or application that you use to record, to edit, to produce sounds, to DJ with. So there's all kinds of things when it comes to DAWs. More specifically, the DAW that I kind of use is Rekordbox. And also Ableton. So those are the two kind of DAWs, and also Virtual DJ. I use that sometimes too. No hate on Virtual DJ. This is a no hate Virtual DJ space, okay? She held me down. That's my longest relationship right there, is Virtual DJ, all right? And so those are the programs that I mostly work out of. And so those are kind of like the experiences that I will personally be speaking from. So again, any comments or any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. And also this session is being recorded. So if you need to like refer back to it at some point, you'll have access to it. I think it's going to be like on the YouTube or something. Bianca would know. They're on the FemHouse team now. So yeah, just know that. Okay, cool. So controller overview. Now, this can look scary. This is, I think this is an XDJ, XDJ XZ. Very similar to CDJs. Do not be scared of her, okay? I too was once scared of CDJs. Do not be scared of them, okay? See them as a space for exploration. See them as a space to you to experiment and touch all the things and all of that. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. I think the hardest thing about when it first came to CDJs was just like learning how to like get the music on the USB correctly. That was my hiccup a lot of the times. And just being like so scared that but you're not gonna mess it up. You're not gonna mess things up. And you have homies that are gonna hold you down, like me, to let you know like this is how you do it. Okay, this is how you do it. All right. So these are kind of like the simple anatomy of the controller. So you have the decks, which are the two. I'm gonna see if I can use a pointer or something. Okay, y'all see the decks, right? Okay, cool. The decks right here. You got your mixer. This is like your motherboard. And then there's like all kinds of buttons all up in here. We're kind of gonna get to that. So your mixer is gonna be where you're kind of going to control like your volume in there. You have a Q button. Let me see if can I zoom in? Let's see if I can zoom in. Stop being okay, I can't zoom in. I thought I could. Oh, yes, I can. All right. So you have your mixer, which there's a lot going on here, right? So you've got your trim. Your trim is, I want to say it's like your gain in a way during your performance. Yeah, I can get to that. Thank you for Ashton. Can you put that in the Q&A, and then I'm going to circle back to that. That is such a great question. So I'll talk about that in a sec. So Trim. So trim is your gain. So this is like the amount of, I want to say like force that you're kind of like putting through to the amplifier, if I'm not mistaken. And so just like making sure that this is at a correct volume so you are not blasting out the speakers. Usually I like to put her like way down. And then you have your highs, you have your mids and your lows. And so we're looking at this like gray button up at the top where my little squiggly is. Your highs and your mids and your lows. So music has highs, they have mids, and they have lows. A lot of the times with these, we kind of use them, and I'll talk about it later, for like blends, like if we want to take out the drums or if we want to take out the vocals in a track, like we'll use some of these buttons for that. And then you have a color button. So this is a button that you can use for like your effects. And so you can turn it either way and it'll kind of like maximize it or minimize it. Then you have your Q button. Your Q button is what you're listening to on the next track, or you can use it to listen to the track that you're currently playing. And so this is like super helpful when you are transitioning between like different songs to kind of support you as you're doing those transition moments. And then we have our volume buttons, and these are fun as well to kind of support you when you are mixing as well. Like you can drop in a beat or like pull it back, or, you know, sometimes when I'm DJing, I'll like, if it's like a part that somebody likes or the crowd knows, you know, I'll turn it down for a second and turn it back up. So there's lots of things that you can do and like play around when it comes to the volume button as well. This part in the middle, or middle-ish, these are to talk to the fader. So your fader is down at the bottom. The fader is down at the bottom. A lot of the times, for me anyways, I just kind of keep it at the through. If you put it on the A side or the B side, this is when you'll go left and right. Where you'll put the fader either to one side where you listen to one side of the controller, or to the right side where you listen to the right side of the controller. And a lot of DJs have kinds of all different techniques when it comes to that. For the sake of this workshop, I will say for me, I like to have it through and just use the volume button to kind of go up and down or like fade in the song, like kind of chill with the volume. But everyone kind of has their own like different ways when it comes to like using faders or volume or any kinds of things. So that's kind of like high level overview of that. Going a little bit closer, there's also, this is a different type of controller. Hold on, let me take the annotation off. Oops. Take this off. Okay, cool. Okay. Good. Okay, cool. So what's the very bottom button or slider? Okay, yeah. So the slider introduces or removes songs, the crossfader. Thank you, Ashton. And so also with these controllers, some controllers have these little like buttons down at the bottom, the little squares. And those are triggers or samples or effects. Not all controllers have this. This is a different type of controller. This is a DDJ SB3. This was my starter controller. This is the first controller I ever had. And you can also see another effect sections at the top at number 8. So there's all kinds of things that you can do to like manipulate the sound, to add, you know, effects on them, or to scratch, or to sample something. You also have, you have, oh, the number 3, your tempo. So like I was saying earlier, when we have the beats per measure, you can use this button you can use this buttons also like a fader to speed up or slow down something. And this is super helpful when you are trying to like beat match, and that's when you're like getting songs to kind of like go back and forth. Number 5 is the sync button. This is a contentious button, okay? very contentious when it comes to DJs. But I can't lie, I am guilty of using the sync button. Pero I'm learning to not do that anymore, so that I can rely on my ear and I can rely on the tempo. Some folks, like I will say, yes, key lock, pitch lock is your bestie, 100%, for keeping the song in key. Again, with the sync button, just like all of the things when it comes to DJing digitally, is like some people use the program the way that they want to use the program. When it comes to the sync button, it's all digital. And so there are tools there to like maybe support us. Because I do have also friends who are hard of hearing, and sometimes they do need the sync button to support them extra when it comes to like DJing and stuff like that. So just like keeping those things in mind. Again, a lot of the times it is a preference. Personally, I learned how to DJ on vinyl. So a lot of the times when I can use the tools, I do use them. But again, I am learning to not use the sync button. You heard it here first. I am using my tempo slider. And then in the bottom right below the number 5, you have the play button, and then you have a cue button. Now, this cue button is a little different than the cue button when it comes to the headphones. So this will kind of help you. I like to use it when I am going to the next song to kind of keep me on key, so try and keep me in tempo. And so you can play it, you can press it down, it'll play like a little bit of the song. And then if you unpress it, then it'll stop the song. So it's a little bit different than just like doing play and pause, if that makes sense. So it kind of is at your preference again. Some people use it, some people don't. But I definitely am someone who loves a cue button. And then you have, I don't think it's numbered, but we'll see if I can zoom in again. Okay, cool. This, can y'all see that arrow that I put on the screen? Okay, cool, sweet. So this arrow is the loop button. This is my best friend. I love a loop. And so a loop is when it's like a certain part of the song that will like play over and over again. And you also have like a way that you can do it. Some people like to loop it in, or you can loop it out. And you can do it for 4 beats, you can do it for 8 beats, you can do it for 16, 32, you can do it for how many beats you want. And so these are the buttons that are kind of like supporting you when it comes to the loop. And then you have your vinyl slip button. And this is like, again, a preference as well. Some people like to use this because it'll give you that like scratch, like kind of sound, especially if you're doing like backspins or, you know, those kinds of fun things. That's what this button will kind of like support you with. Then we have the actual kind of like, I guess the jogs or the wheels, the jog wheels. These are used to speed up, to slow down, or to do like the actual scratch sound that folks do. With this controller, you can have up to 4 decks playing at the same time, depending on the program that you're using. And this is super fun because you can just have like multiple tracks playing at the same time. So if you want to use like, you know, maybe you want to use like a horn section and you want to use some vocals and you want to use drums from a different song. So you can have 4 songs playing at the same time with this specific controller. And again, that's depending on the program that you're using as well. So I want to name 2 that I really love. This is Tyga Paw. If you don't know who Tyga Paw is, shout out to Tyga Paw. I really love this quote because for me, I did not have access to playing on CDJs until like 3 years ago because sometimes it's expensive. If you do like what, like $1,300 lying around, you probably are not playing on those CDJs unless you got some homies or you're like at a club or something. And so I really appreciated this. I screenshotted this from Tyga Paw's Instagram, and it says, fun fact, and this might surprise you, I do not own CDJs, and I never have, could never afford them, and dead ass still can't afford them. I've acquired my own technique and style from DJing nonstop for 8+ years. I actually don't know how to use sync on CDJs. I just use vinyl mode. Never learned how to use CDJs. I need full control over the BPM anyway to be able to control and manipulate the groove at any given moment and to beat match manually, because that's how I like to play. My style of playing does not facilitate the use of the sync button because I like to use the CDJs like a musical instrument. More of the story, don't watch nobody else, just watch yourself, period. And this is something that I like to like hold with me, because yeah, there's sometimes when like I don't know what I'm doing on the CDJs. There were moments when I didn't know what I was doing on CDJs, and I felt very insecure about that, and I felt very like ashamed for a very long time. But then I had to realize that like that is like the industry like doing that, and it's like I just now acquired some CDJs, y'all, like within the last couple of months, and it has been super fun to be able to like have them and to like play with them now like in my own space. But yeah, I've been DJing, like I told y'all, for 8 years. It took me 8 years to be able to get to a space where I could even afford that shit. So just keep that in mind. And yes, you can DJ without a controller. Yes, you can. I love to use this example. Shout out to my homie Ariel Zatina. Love her down. She actually did her first Boiler Room set without a controller. No controller. She did it from her laptop, y'all. So there's this like really cool like thing that you can use. You know how you have those things that you can lay on top of your keyboard? So this is kind of like similar, where it kind of like outlays everything. And this quote is from Zatina herself. And she says, if you have if you have a laptop or even a tablet or phone, you can DJ. Programs like Virtual DJ are free online in order to create a second channel where you can route audio. You can buy a USB audio interface for about $10, plug the headphones into the USB port, and change your settings in the DJ program so that the headphones are rerouted to the USB port. While the laptop DJing doesn't allow the tactical control for equalization, it is impressive how much you can do without a controller, and what you can do with just a keyboard and mouse. I use the space bar to cue and have changed my mouse settings to make everything clickable by dragging with just a tab. And I highly recommend learning CDJs, but during the pandemic, when I didn't have access to CDJs, a laptop with no controller worked perfectly. And I still use Virtual DJ to practice my sets. So yeah, if y'all don't know who Ariel Zatina is, you definitely need to know her. An amazing, dope trans femme that's fucking killing it from Belize. But yeah, she did her Boiler Room set with a computer. So do not be ashamed if you don't have like this gear, because gear can be expensive. And my first controller, like my actual first controller, was donated to me. And when that controller died out, I had another homie donate their controller to me. So just like know that like not having access to gear doesn't stop you from learning. Because again, sometimes it can be so hard to even acquire a lot of this stuff because it can get so damn expensive. But also highly recommend going to like open decks and going to like different things. I use Serato free to laptop and exactly. So, you know, I encourage you though, like look in your city, see if there are clubs that have open decks so that you're able to like maybe like try out some like club gear. Or if you have friends that have CDJs, like maybe tapping them, letting them know like, hey, maybe we should throw a party, or like, you know, like have an open decks ourselves. So just like, you know, doing that and just like making community. All right. So that is the overview part of the controller. So now we're gonna get into like playlist tips, mixing, all those kinds of things. And I want to go back to this question that Ashton asked. So tips for labeling music, individual tracks on the USB for ease during performances. Yes. So what I have been trying to do, because I can be terrible at this, I like to label them by genre and like by genre, and then I have a playlist for like what I want to play like during the set, if that makes sense. So I have a playlist that's just my edits. I have a playlist that's just like my ballet funk clips. I have one that's just reggaeton. I have one that's just disco. I have one that is house, and then one that's like house tech. And you know, house can have all kinds of different things in it. Upbeat house, low beat house, deep house. So I really like to make specific playlists so I'll know what's in there. And then also just like knowing your tunes, I think is what is like super important. Um, Knowing your tunes and knowing like what you want to play. And so a lot of the times when I'm practicing, I'll be like, okay, I know I want to play this song, so let me just go ahead and throw that in this playlist or that playlist or whatever. And how do you know when to record your own edit? So I have been just trying to record every set that I'm doing. I've been trying to get better at it. Like I said, I specifically have CDJs, and so I am trying to get like, I'm looking around because I'm trying to find my recording thing. So I'm using this. I'm gonna try to start using this to record. It's like a Zoom, what is it called? It's like a professional like recorder, and this will go directly to my mixer and come out. And so I'll get like the highest quality of the sound that I'm trying to get. And so yeah, I've just have been trying to be better about doing that, so that I can just like have those on hand just to like, know like what I did, for like an archive. Do we need to purchase the music we use? So technically, yes. But again, we're all starving artists out here, right? So a lot of the programs that I use, especially when I'm doing sets that are going to be in like bigger systems or like bigger clubs, I like to use Beatport, because, and I like to Beatport, SoundCloud, and Bandcamp, and I do purchase these files. And the reason why I personally do that is because I get the highest quality of the song. And so sometimes when you are ripping songs off the internet, like some people will use programs that are like YouTube to MP3. I used to do that a lot when I was first DJing because I couldn't afford the music. It was like really, like, again, music is very, very expensive. And so when you do that, though, sometimes you don't get the highest quality of the song. And look at Sarah put me on SoulSeek. It's a peer-to-peer sharing platform, but I also buy songs. And a lot of fun edits on SoundCloud have free download links. Yes, exactly. And that's what I was just about to say. SoundCloud has a lot of free download links, especially if you like follow, like a lot of producers will do this thing where you can free download if you like follow them and also like comment on their music or something like that, then you can get the free thing. So a lot of the times I will use those programs. And so yeah, and also I've been trying to do like peer like sharing with like other friends too. So like other DJs that I have like community with, I'll be like, yo, like I'm looking for like these kinds of songs if I got booked for something. And I'm like, yeah, I just need some like new stuff. Like, do you have this type of genre? And yeah, just like swap like with your own homies as well. I think that is something that's like super important to do. And I see another question. Okay, DJ City. Okay, how do you keep your music organized on Rekordbox from your laptop? Do you have to import every new song you download from your desktop into Rekordbox? Is there a way to sync them? Oh, I do not know the answer to that. Nipa. I don't know how to say it. But I think if I'm understanding your question correctly, I do have to drag all of my songs into Rekordbox so that it syncs to my USB. That's, if there's another way to do it, I would love to know that. Please, people, tell me. But yeah, so a big thing too that I like to say, okay, cool. I don't even know how I said it, if I said Nipa or Nipa, whatever. We gonna keep it moving. A lot of like the best advice that I ever got from my DJ ancestor, shout out to him, Peyton Locke. He always told me, G, play what the fuck you want to play. And that's what I'm here to tell y'all too. Yes, like if you're someone who is trying to, you know, make money off of this, and like some of your first couple of gigs, you'll have to pay maybe like top 100 or whatever. But, you know, I hope you can get to a place where you can, oh, if you're building from scratch. Yeah, thank you, Ayana. I think that's how you say it. If you're building from scratch, where would you start? If I was building from scratch, I would go to SoundCloud. Make yourself a profile. It's free to make a profile, I believe. And you can just like search, like, let's say you want to find Megan Thee Stallion edit. And there'll be DJs and also producers that create like edit songs, or like if there's a specific song that you want, you can download songs from there for free. And then the DAW, and I was talking about this earlier, the digital platform, Virtual DJ is free, and you can use that program to just like practice or play around. Ooh, okay, nice, nice. Okay, perfect. So yeah, hopefully that is helpful. But yeah, virtual DJ also I think will give you like some sample tracks in there too to like play with. So I highly recommend that. It's also, like I said, free. But also when it comes to crate digging, that's what DJs like to call when you're like looking for songs. I think it's also super important to know the length of your gig too. And I feel like that kind of determines how much music you have. For me, I'm a Capricorn, and I like to I'm over anxious when it comes to downloading music. So usually I will have, if my gig is like 2 hours, I will have like 5 hours worth of music. If my gig is 4 hours, I'll have like 8 hours worth of music. Yeah, shout out to the Capricorn. But again, it depends on, you know, how much you're using of a song, how little you're using of a song. Like, you know, it depends on a lot of things. I think it's just like practicing to know like, okay, how much music do you think you'll have and what you want to do? Also the type of gig, like, are you in a club? Are you just like background music? Like a lot of the times, like for me, I like to have so much just to kind of like fit whatever vibe like the folks are in. Nowadays, you know, I'm DJing a lot of places where I'm, you know, I can kind of play whatever I want. But just like kind of keeping those things in mind when you're also like getting ready for the gig, So these are the programs, like I said, I like to use. So now, again, more into the mixer. So this is like, again, the thing that's in the middle of the controller. A lot of the times in certain songs, you know, the highs will be hi-hats or the drum, like kind of parts of the song. Vocals will usually be like your mids, and your lows will usually be like the bass line or the kick or like the boom, 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 boom that has like the rhythm. And so a lot of this is what we use when we're doing flips or edits or blends or, you know, all of these kinds of things. These are the things that you're using to manipulate the tracks to be able to like have certain parts in and out. Different controllers will also use like the pads that we were looking at. These pads right here. Oops. Okay. There we go. These pads right here. Some people can use these as like vocal, melodies, instrumental, bass, you know, so they can use like these buttons for that too. But it kind of just depends on the controller that you're using. But yeah, those like kind of mixer things will be used for when you're kind of like transitioning between like different songs and stuff. So again, I'm not going to go too deep into this because now we're kind of touching into like more music theory, but it's really important to know key signatures when it comes to like blending songs. The more that you know about like key signatures, major, minor, this specific tool is called the circle of fifths, or no, it's like your key signature wheel. And so this is like the numbers are kind of like how the controller or the DAW recognizes the key signature. And so knowing like some of these things will also help when it comes to blending and like transitioning in between songs to kind of make for like smoother transitions and, you know, flips and things like that. So just keeping those things in mind when you are kind of going in between like different songs and things like that. So some advice too when it comes to DJing is experiment, play around. Like, do not take this thing too seriously, y'all. I mean, if you're someone who is really trying to like make it and whatever make it looks like for you, just remember to just like have fun. Also, as femme folks, as queer folks, as trans folks, know that you're worthy of respect. As a Black, non-binary person who mostly grew up in the South, some of these gigs that I used to go to, these sound men used to talk to me crazy. So just want to let you know beforehand, know that you deserve respect and you deserve, you're worthy of that. As someone from a marginalized community, always know your why. You know why are you doing this? Are you doing this for money? Are you doing this for community? Like really know like why you're doing this when you're trying to like make it in the music industry or trying to like get local or whatever, but always collaborate. Collaboration is how I got to where I'm at right now. The way that I got to Femme House was because I met somebody at a community festival all the way in Jacksonville, Florida, and they put me in contact with Ableton. And it's like, you never know like what community will bring and collaboration will bring, but always remember, especially in this music industry, people will always remember how you make them feel. They will. Like being buddies with like the folks up in the higher ups will only get you so far, but being a good person can still get you far. It really does. Be curious, like stay curious when it comes to DJing. Don't feel like you know all the things all the time. Like I said at the beginning of this workshop, I am no expert. I am always learning. Things always happen when it comes to DJing, you know, like I've been in gigs where I've completely messed up, or I've been in gigs where I thought I had all my music on my USB and there was nothing on there. Like, you know, I'm still learning. And I think it's just like leaning into those moments and, you know, not beating yourself up for not knowing all the things, or, you know, having, you know, the backup plan to back up the backup plan, all the things. So just make sure that you remember that when you are DJing. Ask questions. Listen, y'all, I remember, okay, I was at this gig. I was DJing. Okay, I'm kind of putting my tea out there, but I was DJing for This is when I was still learning about CDJs. You know, I was playing for Toki Monster's like young artist. It was like her record label like party that she had for South by Southwest. And y'all, I was still learning how to use CDJs. Again, I finessed myself up in there. And I just asked the sound man, I was like, listen, and this was the first time I ever had 4 CDJs. And I was like, holy crap, like this is insane. Like, I don't know. And so I let them know, like I asked the sound man, okay, where is it, like are they just like automatically gonna sync across all of them? He's like, yeah, they're gonna sync. And so he like told me and showed me how to do it, and boom, it was that simple. So just ask a question. Don't matter where you're at in life, ask the questions. And this is my biggest advice: send that email. Whatever email you want to send, questions you want to have, send it. Okay, do not be scared to send that email. Again, that's how I've gotten to a lot of places where I'm at, is by sending that email. Okay. My next kind of advice for you too, shout out to DJ Bebe and folks that are from LA will know this amazing DJ. They run a dope party called Hood Rave. They gave me this advice before too. With the DJ career, be patient. It takes time to build, and not everyone makes it. So hold on to the joyful relationship you have with music. And I wouldn't rely on it for income until much later. And it takes the fun out of it when you do that. But another thing is study your favorite DJs. Like, I'm constantly watching other DJ sets. I'm constantly coming to like sessions like this where, you know, we're like learning with each other. We're, you know, giving each other advice. Like, don't be afraid to like build those communities in your own community. If you don't see it there, carve it yourself. But be gentle with yourself at the end of the day. I'm saying this to y'all, but I'm also saying this to myself. Because yeah, this industry can be very not affirming, and it can be really hard. But then sometimes you meet amazing folks and things are really beautiful. Like Femme House was such a saving grace for me, and really taught me a lot about the music industry, gave me a lot of some of my biggest opportunities. And so, yeah, just like know that those moments will come, and just keep practicing, keep building content, keep doing all the things that you're doing. And it'll be dope. And also want to remind you that you belong here, and everything you feel is all right. And I say that because, again, we have like so much discord online that's like, everybody want to be a DJ, everybody want to be a DJ. And I saw this video recently. It was like this amazing drag queen that was like, no, like everyone that wants to be a DJ, if you are a woman, if you are femme, if you are trans, if you're non-binary, those are the folks that need to be DJing. Yes, because we need y'all on these dance floors. We need you building parties. We need you encouraging each other, because again, we know that the industry is like 2 or 3% of us, and especially when it comes to these lineups. So we need you. We need you. We need you. We need you. So that's all that I have for y'all. If you have any questions, I'm still here if y'all want to stay on. My next personal session, which I will go deeper into Duval folks as my case study, to talk about how I create safer dance spaces, how to throw a party, like what are things to keep in mind. And if you want to follow me, or if you have any more questions, this is my information to be in touch. My email, my Instagram, and my website. Any questions y'all have, I am here. I am your friend, okay? Know that y'all can message me. Y'all can talk to me. I am here. Oh, thank you, Bianca. I appreciate that. But yeah, so I'll stick around for a little bit. If we have any more questions, I am here for that. But that's all I got, man. Oh, I see a question. Sorry. If you are set on DJing one genre but aren't making headway or getting it, at what point do you think we should consider switching? if you're set on DJing one genre but aren't making headway, I think what I'm hearing you say, or the question that I'm hearing you ask, is like, if you feel like you're not making it, whatever making it means, should you consider switching? If that's the genre that you like to play, I would say no. Yes, Elisa. I think it'll be on the YouTube. But anyways, I don't think you should consider switching. I think you need to do some more research on like, what is it that you want to do? Do you want to play festivals? Do you want to play a certain party? Like, do you want to be on a certain platform? Finding out who those people are that you need to like be in closer contact with, so that you can make more headway in whatever it is you want to make headway in. So I think it's like keeping those things in mind when you are playing the genre that you're playing. So whatever making it looks like. Will your DJ set tonight be live somewhere we can tune in to support and dance in our rooms? Oh my gosh, you're so sweet. I'll try to go live on my Instagram, but it's not going live anywhere. I need to get a better like streaming situation so that I can stream my sets. I'm trying to learn how to use like Twitch and stuff so that I can like DJ my sets better. But no, it won't be live, but I'll go live on my Instagram for y'all. So if you follow me on Instagram, then maybe check it out there. Here is my Instagram. So yeah. Oops, did I? Oh, I didn't put it in the thing. TikTok is much friendlier. Okay, that's good to know. Would you recommend keeping all your music tracks on an external hard drive and using that to sync to Rekordbox? A friend recommended this to me after. Yes, I do recommend that. I have not done that yet, but I need to do that. Because yeah, all the shit is like living on my computer, and I need to have like a second like backup drive that has all of it on there. So yes, I do recommend that. I definitely recommend that. Right. Any other questions, comments, concerns? I'm gonna be doing that. Femhouse is gonna be doing like an Ableton like track. I wonder if y'all are gonna be doing that. I'm doing it. I need to brush up on my Ableton. Yeah, someone said, back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up. It's not fun to lose your music at all. Okay. Speaking of TikTok, what are your thoughts on TikTok DJs? Like exclusively streaming on the platform, is it an initial getaway to something bigger, or is it its own niche? Ciao. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I just got on TikTok. I can't do it. I hate TikTok. I hate learning a new platform. So I'm older. I am 33. So I had a MySpace, I had Facebook, I have Instagram. So TikTok is a new platform that I'm learning. And I am just now starting to like put like content on there. I don't live on that platform like that, so I don't know a lot about it. I actually am like, I used to, like I said, at Femhouse, I was still learning about like social media and like the ins and outs and all the things. Going to learn, use some TikTok. I'm trying, Ashton. Listen, I'm like, but yeah, I mean, I don't really have any thoughts. I think it's dope. Like, I think the biggest advice that I was given was like building like content that is like high definition, building content that is like telling a story, building content that is like engaging. And so I think it just like depends on, again, like what are you wanting to use the platform for. But I don't have any thoughts like negative about it. I mean, get it how you live it. That's me personally. So Oh yeah, I definitely think there's potential in drafting on Spotify and working from that to DJ equipment for sure. Like a lot of when I first, I mean, before I started DJing, I used to work in a skateboard shop. And so a lot of like what piqued my interest to DJing was building the playlists. Like a huge part of like that job, like that my managers wanted was like to build a vibe like in the place. And so I really was intentional about like, okay, I know I want this song and I wanted to transfer into this song. And I think like this mood is like good and this mood is good. And so yeah, like I would say like build playlists for other people and kind of experiment in that way. Um, but yeah, I definitely think building in Spotify and then working from that to DJ equipment is for sure a great way to start for sure. All right, y'all. Going once, going twice. Any more questions? Period. Come on, Midori. Put your mixes on SoundCloud. I know that's right. Cool. All right, y'all. Well, y'all got my contact again. If there's something, are you DJing during Render ATL? No, I'm not. I'm not DJing during Render. Most of this month, I'm going to be traveling. I'm DJing in Atlanta tonight, Athens tomorrow. Next week, I'm in Richmond. And then at the end of the month, I'll be in New York for a bit. So I will be out of Atlanta for the next couple of weeks. I'll be in New York City. I'll be in New York City for a couple of weeks. Thank you, Ashton. Okay, my loves. Well, you got me. Hit me up, call me, beat me if you want to reach me. It was so nice to talk with y'all and chill with y'all tonight. Have a good night. And I will talk to y'all and see y'all